welcome back to another edition of the I Prefer the 80s and 90s podcast. Podcast where whenever I speak truth, I start coughing. A podcast where I talk about why I prefer the sports of the 80s and 90s over today. Today's topic: preseason football. And I know I've spoken about this before in another podcast, but I need to speak some more. You know why the preseason today bothers me so effing much? It bothers me because, every sports network has decided that in order to keep NFL, NBA relevant, MLB relevant, is they have turned football, basketball, baseball, hockey. They've trying to turn all these sports, tennis, golf, into year-round sports, where essentially all you hear about is football news, basketball news, baseball news, and of course hockey news. Of course, the baseball and the hockey thing has their own channel. NFL and NBA have their own channel, but ESPN talks about football all year round. And you say to yourself, why? Isn't there enough sports going around year round that you could talk about? They talk about football every day. They talk about the NBA every day. And they talk about the off the field stuff, the trades, the stuff going on in the front office. And then, of course, you get the XFL. Then you have the other USFL. All of these football leagues popping up. And all these men playing football year round. So I'm stunned with preseason football. Because the XFL and the other league, USFL or whatever they call itself, they don't have a 4-week preseason, 5-week preseason. They get drafted by a team, and a few weeks later, a month later maybe, they got to play. And then some of them men get an opportunity to potentially go play and try out for an NFL team. So I say to myself, preseason football's on. So let me watch some preseason football, because all year long I keep hearing about how this quarterback is on the new team, this rookie is on this team, this running back's on this team, and you want to see him play. Well, it turns out that the only time you're going to see football really played is during the football season, or if you are fortunate enough to know and go where your team or where teams practice football. So the Wednesday and Thursday scrimmage in preseason football is where you will see real football in August, where all the teams play against another team and the ones play against the ones. Some backups get in, but essentially the practice work that they put in is put in Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday, who knows, but Wednesday and Thursday, maybe Tuesday, where the teams play against one another in practice. They fight, they rerun plays over again to make sure that they got it right, but they can't touch the quarterback. In fact, they can't touch the player who has the different colored jersey on top of his team's jersey. And so what teams do in the league to throw biscuits to fans is they say, well, Mahomes is going to play the first half. Jared Goff's going to play the first quarter. So like most of us idiots in the world, we rush to the television. We want to go to the games to see number ones against number ones. Most importantly, we want to see NFL-style football. And what do we get? We get players, people that we ain't never heard of play the game. And the prices of the game might be slightly reduced. They may not be. The Rams out here are crazy. Since the Rams won the Super Bowl, the Rams have been charging exorbitant prices for all their games. I went to see the Chargers play 3 times since they play in the same stadium, and I've still yet to pay more than $70 for a ticket. Still yet to pay more than $60 a ticket. But the Rams charge over $100+ per ticket, $200+ per ticket. And I'm not asking to sit field level, 50-yard line seats. I'm just asking to be in the building. So I've yet to see the Rams play in their stadium. But I've seen the Chargers play in that stadium and enjoyed myself to the fullest. Had a fried hot dog that was absolutely disgusting for $9. They don't even give you spicy mustard. Anyway, I'm sorry. But my point is, the Rams charge $40 tonight to go see the Raiders play the Rams. I would pay it. But I'm kind of mad at the Rams because I want to see a regular season game and they want to charge me $241, $169. That's crap. They've had one Super Bowl season where they won the Super Bowl, and that was 2 years ago. But again, I digress. I digress too much, and I got to stop doing that. My point is, they charge you a good price to go see a preseason game, but you don't get to see the players. And then the new rub. And now they only play 3 games of preseason and expect to be ready to play come September when the season starts. The first week of football is my favorite week of football to bet because no team is really ready. Every team is in play. Every game is in play. Taking the overs are in play. The spreads are usually way inaccurate in terms of point spreads, in terms of how many points one team's going to win by. Usually, the first week of the season, second week of the season is when I make money betting football. I usually go to Vegas. I'm not going to do it this year, I don't think. And bet the first weekend of football, and I'll win. because the preseason is so unimportant to these teams that they allow you to say, okay, if the worst team in the league last year is playing against a good team in the league last year, and then they meet the first week of the season, that worst team in the league last year has gotten good draft picks, gotten good rookies, maybe even gotten a little bit better, and that score is going to be high. I want you to remember that. I want you to watch the football games opening week this year and see how sloppy teams are, see how poorly they tackle, and see how many games go over the totals in the spreads. And the only reason why they don't go over in certain spreads is they got a rookie quarterback or a new quarterback who is learning his team. But the preseason today is a joke. In the old days, the way they did it was first preseason game, everybody played, the starters played the first quarter or first couple of drives just to sort of get their, lips wet of going up against other grown, angry men. Second quarter, second preseason game, they play a little bit more to let you, so to get more work at an actual game situation. The third preseason game was the dress rehearsal game. Teams wanted their starters to play through the first half, come out in the third quarter, because obviously in football, at halftime is different in football than it is in basketball. I made that sound because I'm watching a game and some guy just got nailed on Jacksonville. Halftime, you go in and make adjustments, and you want to see if you made the right adjustments. So you want to get that feel of that 15 to 30 minute in real life time off, how your body reacts, and then get out and play third quarter. And then they get you out slowly so they can get people in trying to make the team. And then in the fourth preseason game, you may start your starters just so for sharpness reasons, and then you play the rookies who are trying to make the team. That's the way it used to be. Not anymore. Not anymore. First games now, you might get a team that plays a starting quarterback. If he's a rookie and he's going to be the starter, yeah, you'll play him because you want him to see what it's like to play NFL real speed. Second game, starter might play a little bit more. Third game is dress rehearsal, maybe. And that's all they have now. There's no fourth game, supposedly. So I have no clue what they're going to do because there's 2 more weeks left in August. So I'm kind of confused as to what they're going to do. Maybe not every team is scheduled to play today or tomorrow or this week. Okay, we'll let it go. But the bottom line is preseason football, in my view today, is almost superfluous, or they should just play a half. Since you practiced all week against this team, you've done all your work, I don't get what it is that you're trying to figure out in a game if you're not going to play anybody but rookies. Because the backup quarterback isn't the same as the starting quarterback. He is not going to know what the checks are. He might know what some checks are, but he may not be able to catch his football. They used to talk about how Joe Montana and Steve Young threw different types of football. How the ball came out differently because one was a righty and one was a lefty. Tua is a lefty. You think Tua's going to play today in the football game? We'll find out. But my point is simply, we won't find out nothing about any football teams until the real season starts. And that, to me, bothers me. And I'm stupid enough to watch the preseason games because maybe there's a diamond in the rough that we have never heard of and see. Maybe the quarterback, the starters, the running backs will play. Last night I watched my Giants play. Daniel Jones started, did one drive, and had a good night. That was it. Saquon Barkley didn't play. The new tight end played, and he played well. But in my view, if there's a game to be played, you play it. And I don't think, because of everybody today's so smart, everybody thinks, well, that's one less game of not getting concussed. No, you can get concussed in practice. This whole week, I've heard and read several players got injured in practice. The NFL, people get hurt. People get hit. People go down. People land funny. The field may not be right for certain things. People get hurt. And I'll say this. Tom Brady played 22 years, 23 years in the NFL. He missed one season because he got tackled low and ended his season. Brady rarely got hurt. Nagging injuries maybe, but he rarely got hurt because he rarely got touched. So if you don't get touched, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get hurt unless you pull a hamstring, you strain something because you're running, twist an ankle or something like that. That's luck. That ain't got nothing to do with not playing in games. Football players get hurt for the dumbest reasons. There was a player on some team many years ago who got hurt. He had carpal tunnel syndrome, playing video games. Come on. I will survive. I watch other sports. I'm watching tennis and golf as we're watching pro football, since I'm not seeing any of the starters. And it is baseball season. But in a lot of ways, I wish football treated this season in the preseason like baseball players do. Baseball players get in, they get their 2 at-bats, maybe 3 at-bats, they grab that bat, and they're gone. Pitchers get in, they don't care if they're getting bombed, they get their 50 pitches in, 60 pitches in, they go. They play 162 games. Come on, NFL. Get better than this. I'm Richard Harris. That's why I prefer the 80s and 90s sports over today. At least they play.